In today's video, we have got to talk about Burrow. There's a leak that hit the internet that I think players are going to want to know about. Hi everyone and welcome back. MTG Moxman here, and thank you again for hanging out with me on my channel. Now, today's video, we are just doing a brief cover of what's going on with the Burrow leak that hit the internet. There were a couple of them, but this is the one I want to focus on because it gives you a little insight into what this set is going to be, but also what it's not going to be. And that's something I think players need to be aware of before they let FOMO grip them. It's not that this leak isn't exciting. It's not that it's not something to talk about. This is a set that I've been looking forward to all year. We know if you've watched my channel for any length of time, I called Burrow early on as my favorite go-ahead set for obvious reasons. So now let's take a look at this and then we'll discuss why I think there's some more information going on than just this one leak. So guys, here we have Ral the Crackling Wit. Now, this guy's an otter if you can believe it. Now, for one red, two generic, and a blue, we get ourselves a Planeswalker on Burrow that is Ral Zarek in a different iteration, of course. Now, what are we getting for our value, and why is this card so important? There's a lot going on when you see spoilers like this. The obvious horrible picture taken is meant to dissuade us away from what's really going on, and we've got to focus on what's happening. So, it's a 4 loyalty Planeswalker. Let's not forget what the card offers. So, it's 4 mana for a 4 loyalty Planeswalker. Now, is this going to be a garbage Planeswalker like we've seen in the past? Likely not, because we've noticed the upswing and the power of what we've seen in the last few sets. So we can expect a little bit more. Now, what do I mean by more? Well, when we take a look, you can see there's a +1 ability, then you've got a -3, and then we have a -10. They are horribly hard to read. You can find them on the internet, but I've also listed them here in the next section just to share with you guys what we're actually getting for our money when you pay this Planeswalker's casting cost. Now, Ral with the 2 generic, 1 blue, 1 red, this legendary Planeswalker's passive ability says, whenever you cast a non-creature spell, put a loyalty counter on Ral the Crackling Wit. Now, for +1 loyalty, you get a creature, a 1/1 blue otter creature token with prowess. Very interesting. Now, -3. Draw 3 cards, then discard 2 cards. Understandable? Now, -10. Draw 3 cards. You get an emblem with instant and sorcery spells you cast have Storm. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, copy it for each spell before it this turn. And of course, Ral starts out at loyalty 4. Now that's a lot of power we're talking about. Now that's the card. That's the play structure of it. Now let's get down to the actual conversation. Because it's more than just saying it's a 4 casting cost Planeswalker with loyalty 4. You ask yourself, where is this meant to fit? Because most of you who have played in any type of standard format right now, which is what this set is introducing Ral the Crackling Wit as, the game's over by turn 3 if somebody's playing a slick shot deck and they can get it to go off. Because the first thing I looked at when I saw this card is, this card with non-creature spells is going to be brutal in the right mix of cards from Outlaws of Thunder, Junction, as well as what we've seen going on in the Lost Caverns. And then at the very end, we can add in something from the Wilds of Eldraine. There's a lot to mix together with this particular Planeswalker. I assume we're going to see others of that type. I assume now there's going to be a Planeswalker kind of hero party here, adventuring on Burrow, kind of like the old Gatewatch style stuff. And I'm okay with that. I like the story idea if that's the way they're going to take it. I like the fact they become animals when they get there. That's all great. But I want to focus on the card. People are going to look at it, and they're going to see that -10 emblem. And they're going to see that they can jack this up by casting non-creature spells, and they say, this card is an absolute beast. It's going to break things. This card's meant for Commander as far as I'm concerned, in my opinion. As a turn 4 casting Planeswalker in the game state we're in, with the possibilities, I basically don't play with Planeswalkers anymore because they're so easily killed, and by the fact that I don't play with them, anyone who's got Planeswalker kill spells is kind of wasted. They just have extra cards sitting in their deck. And yes, you can say that with a whole bunch of other cards out there. You can say, well, most Planeswalker kill cards now include creature types. That's right. At a slightly higher casting cost, people do get those. But I'm looking at Ral saying, yes, it's a fun card. Yes, it tells me the power level of Burrow is going to be something on the higher end, which we talked about in today's video. Since this is coming out at the same time, it looks like it's going to follow that same pathway. But at the same time, I'm not going to get blown away by a card like this. I'm just going to be pleasantly happy about it. Because a card like this signals to me what's coming, which is fantastic. I'm so excited to finally see the spoiler. And at the same time, when I look at it, I go, I am happy about it. I will try to break this card. I will try to utilize this card in multiple decks. I know I will. And that's a good thing to see that from a straight out card off of a leaked image, which is a horrible leaked image. We all know. I don't know who took that photo. I don't know who you are, but you got to get better skills because that's a bad photo. And yes, I personally believe it was done intentionally. Now the second card, which is like this promise card, I'm not going to put it up. I'm not going to mention it. You can look it up. It's okay. It doesn't really do much for me. The Rouse Eric one offers a lot though. That passive ability, if you can keep him alive, and 4 keeps him out of bolt range and stuff, he has some potential to stay alive. Not as much as other cards that are out there, but it does give you something to think about, because if that thing hits the board, it does remind me. Yes, you need connective tissue of other spells, but it does remind me of the good old days that if like Ugin the Spirit Dragon hit the board, you better have an answer. If you got Nika Bolas on the board, you better have an answer. Same with Karn Liberated. That old school power level of that Planeswalker hitting there, you need to be able to do something, because if that emblem hits and they've got all kinds of mini bomb spells in between everything with Storm, it is just going to be one of those things you have to deal with, and you know you're probably already too late. So for that reason, I'm excited. I can't wait to see where they take the rest of the set, and I'm really now getting psyched up for more spoilers. Now, if I'm feeling psyched up, though, after looking at Ral, the Crackling Wit, how are other people going to feel? How are other players going to start looking at this card and what may be coming down the pipeline for Burrow? What other cards may be coming our way? The excitement is only going to build from here, and it's already been starting to build, as I discussed with you in today's earlier video. The sales are already really high from all the stores I talk with. And that's like 40 stores, although only 32 answered back. But it's still a lot of stores giving me information about what's going on. So this is really a fascinating structure to see this type of leak at this point. Before we even get Assassin's Creed, we're seeing this leak. And now we're going to take that forward and say, what comes next? And for that reason alone, I applaud them, because it actually makes me want to see what card's going to come next. But better yet, I want to know what you guys think. You guys slam some comments down. Put something out there telling me how you feel about the Crackling Wit. Is it going to see any standard play? Do you think maybe it's going to be inside Modern? Or is it going to end up being a commander card as an auxiliary kind of powerhouse card somewhere deep in there to be built around with other non-creature spells? I want to know what you guys are thinking, because for my opinion, it is still a commander card for the most part. Yes, I will try to use it in standard. I'm sure I will, just to see if I can make it go off, so you can put 4 of them in there at least. But for the most part, I think we are going to see this thing in Commander, and it's going to make a bit of a splash in certain decks. So, thanks a lot for tuning in. Thanks for hanging out with me today. And of course, I'll see you tomorrow for the regular video. I just had to come home and talk about this because, as I said, I'm pretty excited about it. So let me know what you guys think. Slam some comments. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have an awesome day. Hey guys, a big shout out and thank you to the fantastic patrons of the channel. You guys rock, and of course you know it's true. Now, these videos are made possible because of my patrons and YouTube membership members who support this channel. I got to recognize them each and every day for the fact that they allow this to happen. So thanks again for my supporters. Thanks again for being here and being part of Team Moxman. I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow with another video. Everyone, have an awesome day. Welcome back to the Ramble and the Jamble. I gotta be honest, guys. Ral the Crackling Wit has given me something to think about, and I haven't had that for a while. There's been a few cards here and there, but on a beginning spoiler list of cards with horrible imagery, seeing the stats of the card, I assume it's a real card. The Otter, nice passive ability to keep your guy going. It's got prowess, great room for non-creature spells. There's a lot to build off of here because he can kind of defend himself and get things going, and he's just out of bolt range. But it gives me the incentive to hope there is more. To hope it is more of the same, because that would be leading me down a path to say this is going to be a fun set and actually make me want to buy more of it. So Wizards of the Coast may have stepped onto something here that I hope they would, which is I hope they wouldn't ruin this set for players. So kudos to Wizards. I think we're onto something. I'm kind of excited. And for me, that's a good day in the world of Magic. Love this game. Can't wait to dive into Burrow. Guys, thanks again for hanging out. Have an awesome day. I'll see you guys tomorrow.